This is the Against the Current podcast. Against the Current is a faith-based counseling ministry that helps individuals, couples, and families experience emotional, mental, relational, and spiritual transformation through biblically based principles with one-on-one counseling, workshops, and seminars. If you want to find out more, head on over to atcmcounseling.com.
Okay, there.
So I should look at the camera when I'm talking?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Hi, this is Katya Mills again. Welcome back. So glad you can join us today. And I'm here with Scott.
Hello.
And today we're going to continue what we talked about last week, which was your temperament and temperament assessment and temperament therapy, and how I believe it's very crucial, very important to understanding who we really are and how that can help us and achieving so many different goals. So I want to approach this talk today from understanding the importance in identity. So just knowing our identity is so crucial, and having a positive view of our identity is crucial. And it determines so much how successful we are. And as we were talking about last week, we have to identify, who we really are. And there's so much more to be successful. There's so much more than just what we can do on the outside. In the material realm, we have to be healthy in here.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
When somebody's searching for their identity and they don't have a direction, let's say, to kind of go to, what would be the first thing that you would tell them in order to find their true identity?
Okay, so the first thing I recommend is just, of course, temperament therapy. Temperament assessment would be a great way to start. In a lot of companies nowadays, they do some kind of personality assessment to kind of help you. But, that's only a start. That's only a tip of the iceberg. Then from there, we have to just understand, and again, I'm a Christian, so I believe in God, and God made us each very special, very unique. And it's very important to figure out who I am and why was I created the way that I was created. We're all very different, and we're all special, and we're all very smart. Now, some people take advantage of that more than others, and it doesn't just happen. Now, some people are, they just seem to be smarter than others. They're just very quick and everything. But it doesn't mean that if we're a little slower in learning things, it doesn't mean that we're not smart. We're just smart in different ways. So one thing that I love to tell people, and this can be, a lot of different psychiatrists and coaches, and they're all in agreement. You are as smart as you want to be. You just have to push yourself. So we have to see ourselves. That's part of our identity. We have to see ourselves as that smart person, that engaged person. We have to develop an inner strength.
Why do you think younger kids today have such a difficult time trying to find that inner strength? I mean, there's a lot more cases of kind of anxiety, depression. It seems like in today's world with kids that are, of age 18 to 23, what exactly is the reasoning behind that, do you think?
Well, there's so many things. My goodness. A lot of times, they spend a lot of time on social media, watching TV, or not TV so much, right? But videos on YouTube, Netflix, or whatever. And without even realizing, they compare themselves to all the people that they're watching, or a lot of times they're living vicariously through them. And their lives seem so insignificant in comparison, so unexciting. And, this world of living through social media, vicariously through those people can be very hard on our self-esteem and our self-worth. Whereas my challenge then to them is, sure, there's nothing wrong, of course, with a little social media or watching Netflix a little bit, but we have to be more engaged in life and do life on purpose and, develop that inner strength. And there are different things that we can do to do that, but you have to be aware of that's the problem. So I need to take the time every day to think about me, who I am, what am I trying to accomplish today, and take each day at a time. Take 8-10 minutes every day and just meditate. Usually I suggest doing it in the mornings.
Of course. Because
that's when we're starting the day, and don't just let the day go, and not have a plan, a mental plan.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think, if people that are kind of the older age, if there was a social media back then, do you think that they would have gone through the same things that kids nowadays are going through if they had all that technology at their hands?
Yeah, I mean, these problems have been around for a while. I mean, kids have always struggled, because when we're teenagers coming into adulthood, this is when we're developing our identity. Who am I? Who am I in the world? What am I going to accomplish? What is my purpose? This is not a new thing. We've always dealt with that. It's just a lot more information thrown at teenagers and young adults today. A lot more, and there's a lot of pressure put on them. And I think that a lot of what they're exposed to incessantly can create a lot of anxiety because they're constantly comparing themselves to what they see.
Right. There's a lot of people out there that are doing, other things that people wish that they were doing, dream jobs, as you could say. But I just feel like, you do have to find your true passion, your true self, and whatever you do, you should love what you do. But as far as identity goes, where should people start exactly?
Okay, so the first thing for me, again, as a Christian, I believe that we were created in God's image. Now, when you just internalize that, just begin to really meditate on that, you think, wow, I was created in God's image. He created the universe. How special am I? And He loves me so much. And He wants me to do well. He wants me to understand who I am. He wants me to pursue things that are suited for me. And that's a huge thing of identity is being okay with being different. Because we're all different. Don't expect to be similar to your brother or sister, to your best friend, or, your parents. You might pursue something completely different from what your parents even expect of you, and that's okay. You have to have confidence in who you are. So that's where you start just meditating on who you were created to be.
A lot of parents like to kind of pick a direction for their kids to go one way or the other, that I feel could have a lot of struggle with inner identity. So what would you say to somebody that is going through that type of situation where they kind of want to please their parents, but they also want to please themselves, and they don't know which direction to turn to exactly?
Okay, that's a good question. So we're supposed to honor our parents, right? So that is a key. So we never want to be rebellious. We respect their opinion and value what they say. At the same time, it's important to be honest with them and sit down. I am a huge believer in communication.
Of course.
Proper communication. Talk about it. Talk to them about what you want. Talk to them about how you feel and the things you want to do. Now, some parents might not understand it. It might be a struggle. Yes. Don't give up, though. Keep talking, respectfully. And I believe that determination is key. And if you keep, down the path of communication and being honest with yourself, being honest with them, eventually you'll have a breakthrough. You'll have, you'll achieve what you want to achieve. So that's key. Always being respectful, though.
Definitely. I want to touch a little bit more on social media impact also. Like we already talked about, a lot of people kind of compare themselves. So, like, how can one really step away from, looking at that video and being like, wow, my life is not like this? I mean, I'm asking because there's a lot of comments, there's a lot of people who, or a lot of videos, I should say, where people are commenting these things like, oh, I wish that this was like my life. And then there are plenty of people that are like, live your own life and enjoy that. But like, just, somebody who is really on that cusp of like, wow, I really wish this was my life. I mean, I know we kind of hit a lot on the points, but like, what exactly can they do to kind of step away from that internal feeling of not feeling like they are completely good enough?
Okay. I think self-discipline is a huge one. And how do we get that? Well, if you just, for example, schedule on your phone a reminder, put on your calendar every day, okay, this is time for me, 10 minutes or whatever. I'm going to just meditate, think about what I need today, what I should do today. And during that time, like for me, I ponder on a verse or two. I ponder on what I need to do that day. Speaking what you want is huge. And just deciding I am not going to spend that much time on social media. Or I'm okay. My life is good. And I'm not this person or that person that I keep seeing on social media. That's okay. I accept who I am. And just remind yourself every day if you have to. I am okay. I'm not perfect, but neither are they. Nobody is. And I'm happy with who I am. And I'm going to accomplish something today.
Now, how many people on social media, because social media is perceived to many people in a lot of different ways, but like, just because I'm posting this amazing glamorous stuff doesn't mean my life is picture perfect.
Oh, no.
So is that a direction that you could also give somebody that's also kind of thinking and feeling in that way?
Yes. Just understand that things are not always what they seem. And they could look all pretty on social media and everything looks perfect, but there's a lot of hurt or pain or whatever. You never know what somebody's going through. Just like we are. In many cases, our life's probably better.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, I think it's a daily effort.
Do you think social media is kind of like an escape, an internal escape for certain people?
Yes, unfortunately. And if we don't control ourselves, again, it comes back down to self-discipline. If we don't control ourselves, we can just easily let ourselves go, and so much time can be wasted. And next thing you know, so much time has been wasted. But, back to the mental, this inner strength that I talked about at the beginning, the identity, it's all about that. Who am I, and what am I trying to accomplish? I need to be strong mentally, emotionally, and therefore I need to rein in, and my time, my focus,
yeah,
and not just let myself go and waste so much time, with so many different things. It's, there's power in focus. And the thing about too much time on social media, I don't want to just sit here and bash social media because it can do a lot of good. But there is power in focus. And when we're on social media, it's like here, there, and everywhere. You're just like all over the place. Pictures of this person, that person. And sometimes it's good to just take one topic and just zero in and focus and take time with that. So this again comes back to every day, have some time where you focus and you decide, okay, this is what I'm doing today, or let me think about one thing. Like, for example, in the topic of my identity, some people, believe it or not, they just think, oh, I'm just not as good as somebody else. I'm just not that smart. So just take time every day to say, I am smart. Yeah, of course. I can learn. You might not be good at book learning. I might not be a scientific or mathematician or even an English person, but you might be great at art or sewing something or making a cake or, whatever you're good at. Just sit there and focus. And, learning is huge also. Taking the time to learn something every day.
Yeah, I think that it's important not only to learn something, new every day, but I just think, I think that's great. I think the tips are great, and I think that kids, especially around my age, I'm 22 years old, so a lot of kids my age can kind of look to what you just said as a positive, as an uprising, because I think that, there are a lot of people that I see, at least that are, posts that I see, oh, don't worry about how many likes you get, but like, just somebody telling somebody that off of social media that you have you don't know who they are, somebody might just kind of brush off the comment and just still continue to think that way. But if you take, a few minutes every day in order to do something that you love to do, then I think you will be in the right direction.
Exactly. That's
Awesome.
it.
Awesome.
That's it.
Well, thank you very much for, talking about this topic. I think this is a very important topic, and I think people need to listen in and understand about it.
Yes, definitely. And we encourage, again, if you have any questions, I know we say this every time, you can always shoot us a message. The information is, here on the podcast. We are always welcoming questions, comments, and we love to hear from you. So until next time, we'll see ya.
See ya.
Thanks for listening. You can also follow us on Facebook at Against the Current Ministries and on Instagram at Katya C. Mills.